and they get this money. Of course, you're going to upgrade the way where you stay for not only you, but for your significant other. For your significant other, if you have kids, you're going to take care of your kids. If your parents are living, you're going to take care of your parents. You're going to upgrade them. And the reason why they get upgraded is because they connected to you. And that's what it means by it being your winning season, and everything attached to you wins too. Well, we have to find out how we're going to unleash that champion. That's why the reason why we should unleash that champion is it not only affects us, it affects our family, it affects our community, because with that money as a football player, there's lots of things that you do. Do you realize that many football players make more, or sports players, period, they make more money with their endorsements and everything that they invest in, sometimes even more than they actually do on that football contract, because that football contract only lasts a certain number of years. So if they reinvest their money, then they could stretch it out in a lifetime, right? In a lifetime, but that's a different story. So in order to unleash the champion in you, first you have to change your mindset. A lot of times we're still in the same position because we're waiting on Ed McMahon to come and send us our check. We're waiting to win the Powerball. Okay, we waiting on that right scratch off to come in order for us to win. This is why we're still in the same position. I'm not telling you to stop playing scratch offs. I'm not telling you to stop doing a Powerball, because states like Texas that have those things, they use that money that they get from them to help supply the state with other things. But what I'm telling you is you have to change your mindset to thinking, unless somebody just hand you something or you accidentally find a way, then that's the only way you would win. And that's negative. That's a negative. That's not true. That's not the only way you win. Now, the military teaches you one team, one fight. So I'm going to use that term when it comes to your mind. So we have three beings. We are three beings: mind, body, and spirit, or mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. And so if we get those things in alignment, we'll be one team, one fight. But if our bodies follow our mind. So if we don't get our mind together, we can never win anything. So we got to get our mind right. And scientists believe it takes 21 days in order to reset the mind. This is for church people. That's resetting your mind, or resetting your way of thinking, is another way of repentance. It means that you're turning away from your old behavior or your old way of thinking. Okay, so another way to unleash, and I'm trying to stay within time, right? If you copy, y'all put hashtag I copy. Put hashtag copy if you copying so far about the fact that you have to change the way you thinking. And that's a hard thing to do by yourself. Another thing that you have to do is become comfortable talking about prices, things like money, things like cash flow, selling. Those things are important. Why are they important? I gave you the analogy of the football player. In order for him to reinvest the money that he's getting from playing the Cowboys, don't he have to he has to be comfortable with talking about money. See, that's another situation with the mindset, because we as a people, we've been taught to say, shh, don't talk about money. Well, forget all that. Now, I'm not saying you're supposed to run around and say that you got an $8 million contract with the Cowboys, But what I'm saying is you have to be comfortable with enough to say, hey, I'm going to invest in this. How much is this cost? What do I need to do? How do I need to plan this? What price is this? Right? Because many people who go in the NFL, the reason why they still have money today is because they learned to reinvest. They invested their time and their energy while they were still hot and going, while they used that, I want to call it 15 minutes of fame, but it's more than 15 minutes of fame, and they stretched it so that they can monetize it. And that's basically what you're doing. You being comfortable with the conversation of money. Okay, because money's going to be around. Everything has a cost. You have two decisions. Either you let it control you or you dominate it. Okay, one thing I like to teach is that God gave us the ability. And way back in the beginning with Adam and Eve, he told Adam and Eve that they had power and dominion over all. He wasn't just talking about the birds and the bees, and he was not just talking about the sea creatures and stuff. He said everything. And he wasn't just talking to Adam. Those were two people listening to God. So just because you are a woman does not mean that you don't have power to take a control over the champion of you. You know, the power that you possess is already in you. You just have to learn to unleash it. Let it go. Another thing you have to know in order to unleash the champion in you, you have to learn to teach people how to treat you. There's a saying that said, a fool and his money is soon parted. Y'all heard that saying before? So, and some people think, okay, I'm a Christian, I'm supposed to let people just walk all over me. No, you don't. You set a standard. You control that room. That doesn't mean you have to be rude. You don't have to be rude. You can say, excuse me, and dismiss yourself. Or you can say, if it's your space, say, excuse me, I don't permit that in my space. And leave it at that. You don't have to argue with them. You keep your control by keeping your composure. Because when you argue with somebody, especially if it's your space and it's about your body and about how to treat you, you've given up your power. So you have to learn you have to teach people how to treat you and how to hold on to your power. That brings me to number 4. Run your business. Run your business, whatever that may be. The things that you are responsible for. If it's your household, get your house in order. Y'all heard the preacher say that. Y'all heard Dr. Irvin say that. And now y'all hear me say it. Get your house in order. Run your business. If your household is the thing that you run, get it in order. If the only thing you have is you and the clothes on your back, get your business in order. Run your business. Running your business means to control your money. It means to control the way you think, control where you're going. Stop walking backwards. My great grandmother used to always say, you can't get nowhere walking backwards. And that's true. Where are you going? Where are you going? Get control of your business like a champion. Like if you have a desire to, whether it's running a business, running a ministry, running a coaching company, hey, even running your household, taking care of, controlling your kids, you got to step up and take control. It takes a plan. Number 5, you got to be willing. When you put action to what you're doing, that's saying you're willing. If you're trying, you're willing to fail. Can you think of a time that you tried something that did not work out right? Whether it be a dish that you made, it may have been your first time, it may have been your 150th time, and you totally messed that joker up. If you understand, say, put "I've been there," or "I did." Put "I did." I messed up. I did. There's nothing wrong to say, hey, you're human. I messed up. Part of changing your mindset, being comfortable with talking about your money, telling people how to treat you, running your own business, is you have to be willing to get it wrong sometimes, right? Because sometimes you do mess up and it's the wrong decision, but sometimes you may think it's wrong today and then it turned out to be the right decision. You may think it's wrong because the outcome didn't come out the way you thought, but it all worked according to God's plan. But because the whole point of the story, see, because you were looking at the micro approach, you wasn't thinking about the wholeness. Because let me tell you something, here's an example. I remember that I was working as a nursing assistant. I was determined to get out of being a nursing assistant. And I applied for a whole bunch of jobs for 1 year. I went on interviews and everything. And I thought the examples I gave were spot on, but I failed. I did not get those jobs. I didn't get those jobs. And I kept applying, thinking that, okay, it may not work in my favor. But guess what? Things did work out because my goal, my macro goal, was to stop working as a nursing assistant and get a job, an administrative job at the particular time. So that was my macro goal. My micro thing was what that job really was. I really didn't have clarity on what exactly I wanted to do. I just knew it wasn't that job. I knew I wanted to work in an office job, but exactly what I wanted to do in the office, I was not sure. But I was willing to get it wrong. And it took me a whole year, but I did leave that job. Number 6, you have to learn to use what you have. See, okay, so let's talk about using what we have. One of the things I mentioned earlier is that I'm a financial coach. So I come on live, I come on 2 or 3 times a week, and I give stories. I give stories and I give examples because I want people to learn. I want people to grow. I want to plant a seed. And I want to introduce you more to me. I want to get familiar with you. I want to be able to help you. And in order to do that, I have to use what I have. And what I have is experience. What I have is time. What I have is knowledge. What I have is scars. So I show you my scars, and I show you my wins, and I show you what I've learned. And this is the way I grow, and this is the way you grow. If you understand what I'm saying about growth and about using what you have, put hashtag grow. Number 7, this is a real big one. You got to focus on you if you really want to unleash the champion in you. See, because the reason why we hadn't got up because we worried about Bobby, Cindy, Lucy, Mike, and Ike. We worried about all of them. That's not their vision. That's not their goal. We worried about, oh, my friends ain't helping me. My family don't want to help me. My family don't want to help me. I don't want to do this by myself. But the truth is you got to focus on you, and focusing on you means you might have to let them go. For now. That's the thing. That's the macro way of thinking about it. You got to let them go for now. Because if they're meant to be in your life, because in Revelation, I think it's 3 and 8 talks about the open door, about God has an open door. And yes, I'm a Christian, so I put God up in everything I do. it talks about an open door, that God opens a door that no man can shut. So if those people are meant to walk through the door with you, they will. They may not go at the same pace, but they'll meet you on the other side if they meant to continue to on the journey with you. I'm going to say that again. If they're meant to get on the other side of that door that God done opened and ordained for you, they will meet you on the other side. They'll be there in the end, but you have to focus on you because you have a purpose, you have a power. You got to get in the right position in order to reach the potential that God has already ordained, even when you were in your mother's womb. You got to, Les Brown, like I like to quote Les Brown, right? Les Brown says you got to go after that thing like you're hungry. I also like to use this old term, a closed mouth can't get fed. You got to open up your mouth. You got to get aggressive with that thing. Y'all know when something is wrong with you, this is the best example I can give of this. When something is wrong with you, you may never even say the word Jesus or God. I'm just saying, you know, them people who may never say the word Jesus or God, but when something is really wrong with them, like their health and they scared they're going to die, the first person they call on is Jesus. They read every type of book about God they can find. They get, it's like a person in the pen. How they may be praying every day and saying hallelujah and saying, God, I love you and stuff, because they're in turmoil. They're aggressively pursuing that goal, which is to find some place to release that pain. So if your goal is unleashing the champion in you, you got to get aggressive with it. You got to be focused with it. You got to change your mindset. And I keep repeating this because I want you to get it. Sometimes, because I believe that saying, sometimes you have to hear something repetitively before it sinks down in your spirit. See, I'm talking to you all who listen to the replay or who own here, but what I'm doing is I'm trying to feed your spirit because I want you to get this. I want you to unleash the champion. I want you to take this day and say, this is my season. That not only will I be a champion, not only will I begin to win, but everything attached to me. That means that my husband is going to win. That means my wife is going to win. That means my children is going to win. That means my mother and father is going to win. Anything that's associated or attached to me will win. So in other words, when I talk about being aggressive, you have to push through to get to your victory. Hello, Lawrence. Thank you for joining. So I'm a backtrack because I'm about to get off. It's my time. Number 1, change your mindset. Number 2, get comfortable with talking about money. Number 3, teach people how to treat you. Number 4, run your business like a champion. Number 5, be willing to get it wrong. Number 6, learn to use what you have. Number 7, focus on you. And finally, number 8, be aggressive, push through to your victory. So I do have an offer. I have a group. It is called Victorious Women. It's just a group where I'm doing a free 21-day mindset challenge. In the group, we're just focusing on goals. It's just a way to be accountable. It's absolutely free. This is just because it's the first step. So if you would like to be added to the challenge, say make sure you put hashtag add me in the comments, and I will add you to the group and we can begin. Now, changing your mindset, the way we change it is based on whatever your goal is. This is just about people being joined together, holding each other accountable, encouraging each other, uplifting each other. The Bible mentions about where two or more are gathered in his name, about him being there. So we are setting goals to unleash the champion in ourselves, and we're doing it by gathering up people and doing it together, sharing resources, sharing information. And if you would like to be part of the free group, if you're on Instagram, you can send me a message. Well, actually, I'm sorry. If you're on Instagram, because I don't have a link yet, I will develop a link that'll take you to Facebook. But if it's a Facebook group, you can go to Route to Victory page. Cool, thank you. You can go to Route to Victory page, and this video will be on there. It's public use. I mean, it can be viewed publicly. And I'll add you to the group. Today is Friday, so I will be on Saturday. No, today's Thursday. I'm sorry, today's Thursday. I will be on Saturday, probably around 2 o'clock. I'm not sure about the time. So what I'll do is I'll check my calendar, and then I'll have a link for you all. I'm going to have to get on Periscope and try to deliver the same message. Thank you, Josetta, for saying hashtag add me. So my name is Jackie. That's my time. I'm the founder and director of Route to Victory. Route to Victory was created to help you learn money management, to eliminate your debt and build self-reliance. So part of unleashing the champion in you is building up you. That's self-reliance. Thank you for listening. Thank you for joining. Those of you who may watch the replay, please put hashtag replay. And don't forget, if you would like to be added to this group, type hashtag add me on Facebook. Thank you. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Thank you.